Hi vibes everybody, just wanted to get on here today and make a video about being an empath, and through being an empath with that empathy that you have, how you can actually use that to connect with others and actually help not only boost yourself up, but then also boost the people around you. Because really, well, let me go ahead and get into being an empath. So a lot of people are like, oh, I'm an empath, I'm an empath, because they feel like they can pick up on people's emotions and stuff. And while that is a form of being an empath, but when you are saying that you are a true empath, it's not only that you are feeling these other people's emotions and thoughts and stuff, but then at a certain point you start to take them on for yourself. Because myself, I am an empath, and I can connect with people's emotions and everything. And when I was first starting out and starting to realize this is what's been happening, I realized that a lot of the emotions and thoughts and things that I was having weren't even coming from myself. So for those of you out there who are an empath and who are actually connecting and starting to get all these random emotions that you're not even sure where it came from, you want to look around, see who's around you, who you're in contact with all the time, and who you're actually giving that energy to and taking that energy from, because it's a give and take there. Because not only are you taking some of that energy, you're also giving them some of your energy, because you're taking some of that burden off of them. So therefore you're giving them some of your energy to help boost them up. So when I say you take them on for yourself, it might be your coworker or your sister or whoever, your friend, whoever it is who's around you. When you're with them, you start to have different emotions and stuff, and then you realize that they actually are having these emotions, and you might even start picking up on their thoughts as well. Because when you really start getting into it, empathy can go really deep, because it is just a form of connecting. It's not just taking on the emotions and thoughts. It's actually where to the point where you're actually connecting with them on a deeper level, to the point where there is no separation. Now with this, you have to be careful, because when you're taking on these people's emotions and their feelings and their thoughts and stuff, you don't want that to actually affect you. You want to make sure that you're able to block that out, because being an empath, it can be hard when you start taking on other people's emotions, because when you start to take on their emotions, then it'll start to affect you. Because you might be in a good mood and be nice and happy, and then you start taking on somebody's emotions who's angry, sad, and upset, and then you're wondering, why did you get angry, sad, and upset? And then you start to think that it's you, and then next thing you know, now you're not in that same vibration that you were before, being happy and doing all the things that you were doing before. Now you're starting to go into a dip. You're starting to spiral down a little bit and actually start lower in vibration, because you've taken on that. So when you do take on these emotions, you have to take a second to take that step back. When I say take that step back, it's about going within. And when you go within and you see what's actually going on, you'll see that, hey, this isn't coming from me. And the things that aren't coming from you shouldn't have an effect on you. It will, because you're taking it on, but you have to be able to have those mental shields and those subconscious shields, which I'll talk about in another video. But you have to be able to block that type of stuff out. You have to be able to, I'll give you a brief, example. You have to be able to basically use your imagination and everything to stop that from actually having that effect on you. Because once it does start having an effect on you, that's when it starts going and it starts spiraling, and then you start going forward and then backwards, and then you end up just going everywhere. Which way? You're not on that straight path that you were before. You now been detoured. So now the path that you're on, now that's a blockage, and now you have to go another way. And whether or not this way is where you're supposed to go, that's only for spirit and yourself, doing your inner search to know. But when you are an empath, you're able to connect with others, and really and truly, that's what it's all about, is being able to connect with others on a deeper level. Because once you can, when you're like, okay, I am taking on this person's emotions, and you truly feel what that person feels, then you can truly sympathize and empathize with them about their situation, and be able to help, not only help them, but then help yourself. Because through seeing where these emotions are coming from, you'll be able to see where your own emotions are coming from and where everything around you is coming from. And then you'll be able to do even more. So let's say you have a friend who's been going through a bunch of stuff, and while you may be picking up on their emotions, you're not too sure of how to deal with it. But you know that you're an empath, and you're able to do this. So you could take a time, a little bit of time to actually connect with that, that empathy frequency, to where, okay, now you're connected with them and you actually take on a little bit of their stuff, whether it's their emotions or thoughts or whatever it is. And then you truly incorporate that, and you see, okay, this is where they're coming from. You could truly feel where they're coming from, so that when you're talking to them, you might be able to word it differently or put it a different way, because now you're not coming at it from your perspective, you're coming at it from another perspective. And I talk about this in a lot of my videos, about how your perspective can change a lot. You got to be able to see from other people's perspectives and see from different perspectives in order to raise up and change things around in your environment. You can't just be sitting here thinking, okay, when I do take this emotions from others, that it's not really going to have that much of an effect on me, because it can. Because when you start to take on that stuff, it can be hard. Because when you do take on the other's emotions, it'd be confusing at first. It is going to be confusing, but it's something that you're going to have to work on, because being an empath isn't a bad thing. At one point, I thought it was a bad thing, because I was taking on everybody's emotions and everything, and I actually started to shut myself off from other people and shut my own emotions down. And you definitely don't want this to happen, because once you start doing that, then it's harder for you to connect with others, and then you start seeing that separation happening. And you don't want to divide and conquer yourself. Not only that, you don't want to divide and conquer your friends. So you want to be able to take that in and really go within and see where it's coming from, so that it doesn't affect you like that anymore. But when you truly start connecting with others, you'll start to see how much that can help you. It can help you on all kinds of different levels, spiritually, mentally, and physically. On the spiritual level, it's all about, connecting and everything. But that's, that's for another video there, for you to also go and do your own inner search on, because with being an empath, a lot of that is dealing with your inside, dealing with that dark light that's coming from within. So you have to be able to realize that, okay, you have to be able to go within in order to deal with these things. And if you haven't went in and dealt with your own problems, it can be hard, especially when you start having other people's problems start coming on and latching onto you. So you have to be able to make that clear separation, and that clear separation of their energies and your energies, unless you're trying to connect more. And even if you are connecting more, you still want that separation, so that you'll be able to be like, okay, where am I coming from, and where's my perspective, where's their perspective? Let's find a different perspective that both of us can use in order to raise up. Because once they start raising up and you help them, they might be able to help you now, because they're in a different mindset, they're in a different perspective. So I just wanted to get on here and just make a really quick video on the basics of being an empath and actually connecting with others. But it can get really deep. You have to be able to see that, being an empath, can have all kinds of different effects on your life. It can have different effects on people's lives around you. So just, if you are an empath, and you do need help, you can always hit me up on my Instagram, transformational knowledge at T_K. But, and then I also have the description, the description below, but you can go ahead and check that out. Message me, hit me up. You can even comment on this video, and I might write you back, so that we could actually talk about this and actually help you through what you're going through. Because there's going to be those times where you're not sure of what you're going to do and what you need to do, but you might need a little bit of help, and I don't mind helping, as long as you're really going to start putting in the work, and you're really going to apply the information. Because I can tell you things all day, you can take information from all kinds of different videos and everything, but until you actually go out there and put in that work for yourself and get that first-hand experience, nothing is going to work for you. You have to be able to take that first-hand experience and learn from that first-hand experience in order to grow, in order to connect with others, and then it'll change your relationships, it'll change your family, it'll change your friends, it'll change yourself. This is what we're all about. We should be connecting with others, and through that connection we can help each other. And once you help somebody else, they can help somebody else, and then there's the big ripple effect. But that's all I wanted to get on here and talk about today. So peace in and out, my full love and my gratitude.